It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next is Demario Davis. He'll get after you every chance he can get on defense. It's the Saints and the Cowboys. Coming up next.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this opening kickoff will not even reach the landing zone. It hits short of the 20, so that's going to move the ball out to the 40-yard line. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Throwing, Prescott. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this has taken that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. This throw left side is caught by Tolbert. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 2nd and 6.
Second and 6 at the 14-yard line.
They run here with Rico Dowdle. And they'll get to him just inside the 15 even after that strong run we witnessed. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Cowboys are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Saints heading out for the first time, and there's Derek Carr at quarterback in his 11th NFL season now and 2nd in black and gold.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
Now Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Carr now to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Carr. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Inside the 20. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They can't ask for much more than this. They've got it first and goal from the 5. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Ryan Brzee fought in and got him down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
On the run, it's Dowdle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Now Prescott. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week. And he can't do it all on one throw.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Trying to get that one to Chris Olave, but it'll be second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally you want teams to gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go. Came in as the number 1 rated unit against the pass in the NFL after just 1 week.
This now a 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Not much happening offensively here early on. That's 2 drives and 0 first downs. This defense, they come to play, and they're the better of the 2 units here so far.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a 2nd and 2.
At the 37-yard line.
Now Prescott. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run again with Dowdle. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 9.
Here's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
To throw is Prescott. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26.
Prescott. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Pete Werner. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie. And they start 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara to the 27-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 19 carries, 74 yards.
They put a lot of effort into game playing, establishing this ground game last week, and reward was a nice day rushing the ball. Helped them put a balanced offense out on the field. And that carry is an indicator that this ground game wants to be established again this week.
Carr. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Throwing now is Carr. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. And you look at this Saints defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st down, Saints.
Olave motioning to the left. From the gun, it's Carr. That's Olave bringing in another one. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. To throw is Carr. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Here's Carr. Touchdown! Alvin Kamara. And with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list as his guys are able to extend their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Prescott now. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 70 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
Prescott to throw it. Going right back to Ferguson. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
After one, 17-7 is our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Dowdle. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Dak on the option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Back to throw here. Throw complete right side to Cooks. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They were losers last week to Carolina, but they've got the lead here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Now Carr. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Shotgun now for Carr. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. To throw, it's Carr. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Saints had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And what doubly stings for them, CD, they lose week 1 at home, and now here on the road week 2. So it's certainly not a must-win, but boy, you hate to start a season with 2 straight losses.
Yeah, because you sort of feel like you're playing from behind right from the beginning, and that can really mess with your confidence. Plus, if you get to 0-2, here come the articles, here comes the sports talk shows, pointing out the small percentage of teams that make the playoffs after they begin a season 0-2.
That one goes for 24 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On play action, now Carr finds his man. That's Olave on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a short gain here down to the 22. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Olave motioning to the left. Carr now to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line.
And the Cowboys first down.
Now Prescott. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
They run here with Dowdle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That's good for a Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 45.
A running play. It's Dowdle. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Now a 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Now Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. This looks like a free play for Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Oh, and this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Brandon Aubrey on for the Cowboys.
And his kick here is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Carr going to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On now to punt, Brad Robbins. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Prescott from the gun on third. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 15. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Here's Carr. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. To throw is Carr. This one taken in by Olave. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Carr to throw again. That is caught. Room to maneuver at the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second down, 8 to go from the 28. Pushing back to the 34. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. The Lions trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. J.K. Dobbins, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Romeo Doubs, a touchdown reception. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Now Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taysom Hill, 63 yards. And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out. Good catch and excellent creation of a big play downfield, and I can guarantee you this. That's not a play this defense has practiced against in the days leading up to this game.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Saints.
Throwing. Prescott. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. To throw is Prescott. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Rico Dowdle, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Saints offense and Derek Carr ready for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Now Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
A gain of 4 yards. First down, Saints.
Kamara up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Carr. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Chauncey Golston gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Here's Prescott. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Prescott. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Finding Tolbert here over the middle. And he is into the end zone for the Cowboy touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was finished off by a Jalen Tolbert touchdown grab. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. To throw, it's Carr. Gets this complete to Shaheed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Shotgun now for Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down. From midfield, here's Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. To try here for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Prescott to throw it. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
As my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Here's Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 29, here's 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. The short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. They'll throw again. Prescott throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Prescott now. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1. But
and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Nothing separating these 2 teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And Shaheed going to go in motion. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Chauncey Golston able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Carr. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Now Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now Prescott. And Cooks has it over the middle. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Looking to throw. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
Prescott yet again. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 60. And the Cowboys strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he'll start with a give to Kamara. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 and 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Olave motioning to the left. Throwing now is Carr. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down. From the gun, it's Carr. And the catch made by Johnson. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. 42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw his Carr. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A man who starred collegiately in state at TCU, it's Kendre Miller. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Here's Carr to throw. Touchdown, Saints! Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. The Cowboys offense and CeeDee Lamb ready to take over once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw is Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
That's good for a Cowboys.
This is Lamb on the end around. And he's got some space here. Now he's free at the 35. And down to the 19-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 47 yards. You talk about catching a defense off guard. They were not expecting jet sweep at all there.
Well, he was 10 yards downfield before the defense even knew what hit him. So a really good play call against a defense that was set up for them to gain big yardage. And how about how they executed the handoff there? That means they spent some time with the wide receivers taking handoffs from the quarterbacks.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 16-yard line.
Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Prescott from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Now 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw, it's Carr. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now he's free at the 35. Chris Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
7-yard line.
Here's Prescott. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Prescott to throw it. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that's going to do it. With that last throw, he surpasses Norm Van Brocklin's mark of 554 passing yards in one game, set more than 70 years ago, way back in 1951. Well, he's had help from his offensive line and his receivers, but this has been an incredible individual performance. Now Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw, Prescott. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now Dak. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is up to 14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone, and that means they'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Here's 1st and 10. Prescott. That's complete to Lamb.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Dak. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Looking to throw. Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. To the air again, Prescott. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for New Orleans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.